Hi, everyone. My name is Wesley Hunt, running for Congress here in the 7th District here in Texas. I am very fortunate and pleased to be here today with Senator Bill Cassidy. He is the current senator from our neighbor, Louisiana. He has served in the Senate since 2015. Prior to that, he served in the House representing Louisiana's 6th district from 2009 to 2015. But perhaps even more prevalent given today's discussion, Senator Cassidy is a medical doctor, and he received his MD from LSU and co-founded the Greater Baton Rouge Community Clinic. So obviously his expertise right now is very pertinent to these very trying times. So thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey, Wesley, thank you. By the way, thank you for running. People ask why, as a doctor, I'd go into politics. And I say that it is serving people, but just by another means. First, it was in the public charity hospital system where I worked for 25 years. Now it's in politics, but a shout out to you. You served our country, having attended West Point, then in the military, and now you attempt to continue to serve in Congress. And I just want to really give you a shout out and thank you for continuing that ethic of service to the benefit of us all.
Thank you, sir. It means a lot coming from you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So our first question for you is, I know we've had a very busy last few weeks. And I think that the voters here in the 7th District to hear from a sitting senator would be wonderful. So thank you for taking time to discuss these issues with us. I want to start by asking you to address a few of the frequently asked questions surrounding the health aspects of the coronavirus.
Yeah, the coronavirus is, again, a virus that we breathe in. And when we breathe in, it goes into our lungs. And in some people, not all, but some, it will cause severe pneumonia, as well as other parts of your body to have a problem. There's ways that we can prevent it. Again, if we can prevent it from spreading, if we happen to have it, by sneezing into our sleeve, using this often if you happen to touch your face and you forget. And when you go to the grocery store, I put some of these in a little baggie and I wipe down the handle of the cart. And then I continue to use this during the store. And as you do that, you'll keep either from being infected or infecting others. There's also people, Wesley, who are more at risk. So if you have diabetes or high blood pressure, heart disease, lung disease, you are at particular risk and should take particular care not to be exposed. So for example, my daughters go shopping. They love to shop. I hate to shop. So they go out to the store, they wear a mask. If you have diabetes or high blood pressure, and if you can, it would be wise for you to ask someone to shop for you. But if you go out, to wear that mask, and when someone shops for you, if they live with you, again, to wear a mask and continue to use this and this. We can keep from getting infected by and large. We just have to be very careful to do everything that we need to do.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. And it kind of piggyback that, sir. I'm kind of wondering, outside of that, can you kind of talk about what it means to kind of shelter in place, how that's affecting, flattening the curve, and kind of talk about what that means from a societal standpoint?
Yeah, so if you look at it, we're afraid that we're going to have a whole lot of people going to the hospital at once, including not just those with COVID virus, but the people who normally go from car wrecks and heart attacks and whatever else. And so here you have this big bump of people going to the hospital. As it turns out, though, you only have this many beds or this many ICU beds and this many ventilators. And so if your curve is way up, it overwhelms the hospital system and people die unnecessarily because we run out of ventilators and hospital beds, et cetera. If you flatten the curve, it may be as many people get infected over time, but because you flatten the curve, you have enough hospital beds, ventilators, ICU beds to handle everybody that comes in. And so we're trying to, again, make sure that we have capacity to care for those who are ill. That's why governors are suggesting that you shelter in place, stay away 6 feet from folks, sneeze into your sleeve, use your Purell, and use your Clorox wipes. If you do that, we again flatten the curve, keeping more people alive.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. And then can you kind of talk briefly about what steps that the Senate has taken to relieve Americans that are struggling right now, small businesses, also just kind of outside the health perspective?
Yeah, so Wesley, you mentioned I'm a doctor. I worked in Louisiana's charity hospital system for 25 years,
Wow.
kind of like Houston's Ben Taub Hospital, if Ben Taub is still up and running. And so I learned that people's physical health is as important as their financial health. If somebody can't pay their bills, hey, oftentimes their physical health suffers. But if they're so sick they can't work, then their financial health suffers. So you got to balance those two, physical and financial. And so what the Senate did is acknowledge that. It gave lots of money to help the physical, but it also gave money to help the financial. There will be checks of $1,200 going to individuals, $2,400 to couples, $500 per child to help families get through this rough patch. Similarly, for small businesses, there's an expedited online review process by which people can apply as a small business owner, and that includes churches, for example, all nonprofits. You can online apply for an SBA loan and get that support to get you through this rough patch. If you are an Airbnb owner, you're a single employee, but your own business is you fixed up an Airbnb, you can apply through the SBA portal. And lastly, we increased unemployment benefits. So those people who are laid off, again, they can have their needs met financially as well.
That's fantastic. And can you talk about a little bit more about, PPE and the steps that we're taking as a country to provide, our healthcare providers with and people that need ventilators, PPE, that kind of stuff that we've had a shortage given this boom?
So personal protective equipment, PPE, if you're a police officer, a fireman, a first responder, nurse's aid. If you're the clerk working at the front desk telling people where to go, doctors, nurses, you name it. You need to protect yourself if the person you're dealing with has coronavirus or might have coronavirus. And let me pause for a second, Wesley, and give a shout out to a fellow Texan. Yeah. President George W. Bush,
yes, sir,
when he was president, began to understand that we were due for a pandemic. And President George W. Bush, your fellow Texan, created the current system that is helping us. Now, he stocked up with personal protective equipment, with ventilators, and everything we would need in order to address this issue. Unfortunately, it was allowed to kind of taper off, so we don't have the supplies we had when he left office. But he is the one that put in place this system, which is benefiting us so much. And if he happens to see this, I want to give a real shout out to your fellow Texan, George W. Bush.
Thank you.
That said, there has been a shortage of face masks and of the covering that people wear to keep from getting infected. So that has been, President Trump has worked hard to get more supplies from overseas, as well as to ramp up production here in the United States to make sure that our first responders, our healthcare workers, all have the equipment they need to avoid getting infected. There was a little bit of shortage at beginning, but that shortage is easing. Those supplies are infiltrating, if you will, out into the places where they need to be. And so again, that first responder now should have the personal protective equipment they need in order to not get infected as they keep us all safe.
Wow, excellent. Well, sir, that pretty much wraps up what my questions for you. And I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here and doing this. Please pass my best along to the state of Louisiana, where my parents were born and raised. And so it's near and dear to my heart personally. And thank you for all your service. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Wesley, let me thank you for running. We need folks like you who have demonstrated their commitment to our country, as you have first in your life by attending the West Point Academy, then serving our country in the military, but also to bring a reality of a broader community to our Congress. When people like you step up and do that, Wesley, our country is better off. And so I want to give you a real shout out to you, your campaign. Best of luck. And I'm trusting that the folks of your district will just see the qualities that you just exhibit and send you along to help us further in Congress.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. I really appreciate this, and keep fighting a good fight. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.